Have you ever wondered what it truly means to find peace within? Saint Kabir Ji offers us profound guidance. Concentrate on meditating and do not speak anything. Close the outer doors and open the inner doors. This isn't just about closing your eyes or sitting quietly. It's about turning inward and connecting with the witness consciousness within you. Set aside the distractions, worries and attachments of the outer world. Only then can you truly experience the divine. When you close the outer doors, your mind finds peace. Opening the inner doors reveals the splendor of your own consciousness. Health, clarity, strength and joy begin to flow naturally. With your awareness fixed on the Supreme, the path to meditation, dharana, and ultimately to samadhi. Even amidst the chaos, you can remain united with God. Like Lord Krishna, be fully aware and present, yet immersed in the divine. Every challenge becomes a step toward awakening. The soul welcomes you when you turn inward. Let your life reflect this sacred wisdom. Close the outer doors, open the inner doors, and merge with the Supreme. Kabir Ji's message is simple, yet it leads to bliss and unity.
This satsang is based on the couplet of Kabir Ji. Sumiran सूरत लगाकर मुख से कछु ना बोल, बाहर से पैट बांध कर अंदर के पैट खोल. It means, concentrate on meditating and do not speak anything. Close the outer door and open the inner doors. In truth, this couplet shows a means to reach the Supreme Lord. Close the outer door and open the inner doors. What are these inner doors? Inside lies our soul. The inner doors can open only when we remain with the soul, when we stay in the awareness of the witness. If we are not with the soul and the witnessing consciousness, then our outer doors remain open. The outer doors are always open. But if we wish to meet the Supreme Being, if we wish to return to our true home within, then we must close the outer door. Just as in our home, only when we close the outer door can we sit peacefully inside. If the outer door remains open, our attention keeps going outward, thinking that someone may come, or an animal might enter, or a neighbor might step in. Anything can happen. But when you close the outer door, you become peaceful within. Then, inside your home, you can see whatever you wish to see. You can even open your special cupboard where you have kept your most precious treasures and look within them. In the same way, to reach the Supreme Being, until you become detached from the world, you cannot enter within yourself. You may deceive yourself. You may sit with your eyes closed, but that is a different thing. If your attention remains outward, there is no benefit from it. In our society, many saints have taken birth whose outer door was closed from childhood itself, and only their inner door was open. Some had their outer door slightly open, but they closed it in time. And then there are a few great souls who stayed at the very doorway. They could see both inside and outside. Such great beings have been very few. Among those who went completely within, you know the names: Mahatma Buddha, Mahavira, Vivekanand, Yogananda, Raman Maharshi, Kabir Das, countless saints have been born in our country. But there are also great beings like Lord Krishna who remained at the doorway, having complete knowledge of both the inner and the outer worlds. They did not need to perform any special practice. They came into this world already possessing all divine knowledge from their previous births. Among them are Guru Nanak, Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. Many such divine personalities have been born in our land. But if you yourself wish to go within and realize the Lord, then through your own effort and by the grace of God, you can enter into your own inner being. Sometimes, God Himself opens the path within you. To make this possible, while you are living in this world, He allows you to go through certain sufferings, so that you become detached from worldly things and begin to look within yourself. For example, a person may be very wealthy, but if his wealth suddenly disappears due to some business loss or unforeseen event, his mind becomes disturbed and starts turning inward. In some people's families or lives, serious illnesses appear, and through that, their attachment to the world decreases. Their mind turns towards God, and they begin to go within. Some people come into close contact with a saint or a realized soul, and they are so deeply influenced that they feel the only important thing in life is to open the inner door. They realize that nothing valuable can be found outside. There are also some people who, despite having everything in their outer life, still find that life to be full of suffering and pain. Just like Mahatma Buddha had everything in the outer world, yet he found it all painful. To open the inner doors, he left his home, his wife, and his son, and went in search of the Lord. Mahavira also did the same. So you will find many such examples. When the Supreme Being Himself wants to take you within, He brings certain problems before you that make you close your outer doors and begin to make an effort to open the inner ones. In some people's lives, there is no happiness within their family, neither with their wife nor with their children. Such people to begin to open their inner doors and start moving toward God. So the reason can be anything. Some people look at this world with great wonder. They think, how amazing this universe is. How are these stars in front of us? The moon, the oceans, how do fruits and flowers grow? Everything appears so mysterious to them. Out of this curiosity, they begin to close the outer doors and try to open the inner ones. In their mind arises a question, why do I keep doing the same things every day in life? Why not meet that power which has created this whole universe? So in any form, when a person begins to walk on this path, he starts engaging in the remembrance of the Lord and focuses his awareness in that direction. As Saint Kabir has said, Simaran surat lagaikar, mukh se kachu na bol. When a person's mind becomes absorbed within, he becomes unable to speak anything through his mouth. But some people do it only for show. They may close their mouths, yet their thoughts continue to wander inside. In today's society, this is seen quite often. There are people who project themselves as saints. They give up food, stop speaking to anyone, but within, they are not united with the Lord. So there can be many reasons, many outward forms. But if you truly wish to move toward the Supreme Being, you must be completely clear that the true path follows certain disciplines, yam, niyama, asana, pranayam, and then pratyahara. Going within means pratyahara, turning the senses inward, closing the outer eyes and entering inside. This is what is called pratyahara. Saint Kabir has expressed the same truth in another way: close the outer eyes and open the inner ones. In yoga, this process is known as pratyahara. After pratyahara come dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Whether you reach this state through remembrance of the Lord, Simaran, or through the method of breathing, or through yogic discipline, the essence is the same. You must fix your awareness, your attention, within yourself. Only when your attention is turned inward can you realize the Lord. Now the question arises, how should one focus attention within? Saint Kabir has said in very simple words, close the outer doors and open the inner doors. But how can these inner doors be opened? This is the real challenge for those who wish to walk on this path. The Lord, by giving you certain difficulties, directs your attention toward this inner journey. But how should one proceed? What is the method? In what way should one move in that direction? And what kind of discipline should one bring into life so that the Supreme can be attained easily? Here, the most important thing is that first, there must arise within you a deep thirst, the longing that, I must realize God. Only when you have the desire to close the outer door and go within will the journey become smoother. To walk on this path, first you have to bring discipline into your life. When your life becomes disciplined, the first stage is to keep your body healthy. If your body is not healthy, you cannot walk on this path. You will neither be able to do Simaran or remembrance of the Lord nor be able to fix your attention toward God. So take full care of your health. For health, food is essential. Eat simple food. If you eat tamasic food, like the kind mostly served in restaurants and hotels, then your tendencies cannot turn toward God. Food is not only a source of physical strength, it also shapes the tendencies of your mind. Energy you will get from any kind of food, but the tendencies that form after eating are different for each type of food. If you eat meat, your tendencies become tamasic, and then you will not be able to go within. If you eat too much rajasic food, then too it becomes difficult to turn inward, because your tendencies become restless and outwardly active. You do get energy from food, but the tendencies it creates determine whether your mind becomes calm or disturbed. When you start feeling that your mind is not settling into peace, know that it is the effect of your food. I do not say it is the only factor, but it plays a very significant role. Food is not taken only through the mouth. Whatever you see throughout the day, the people you sit with, that too is your food. Whatever you listen to through your ears, that also is food. So, if you wish to move toward the Lord, then stay in the company of noble and worthy people, listen to good things, eat pure food. Only then will you find ease in walking on the path toward the divine. After that, as I said earlier, according to your natural inclination, you may do mantra chanting, or practice Kriya Yoga, or any other form of yoga, but your awareness, your intention, your inner tendency should reach within. That means your attention should not remain outside, it should remain focused within yourself. This is possible only when your mind becomes completely satisfied with the outer world, when you feel, I have nothing more to gain from the world. I only wish to reach the Supreme Lord. When such a state arises, then you can truly do the remembrance of God, and your awareness can turn toward Him. If that state has not come, then it becomes very difficult. Let me tell you a small story. Once there was a king who lived with his queen. But his food habits were rajasic, full of worldly passion. Gradually, all kinds of restless tendencies arose in him. He left his first queen and brought home another. He started spending time with the second one, and later took a third queen as well, for he had no shortage of wealth. Now he had 3 queens. He completely stopped visiting the first queen. She became deeply saddened and did not know what to do. She had tried everything, but the king never came to her. Gradually, it became clear that this was actually the will of God, that she should begin to turn toward her own self. Slowly, she built a small temple in her room and started spending most of her time with the Lord. She began chanting mantras regularly. Since the king no longer came to her, she had no other path left. She went deep into her own consciousness, into the depth of her mind. After some time, she began to feel immense power and great bliss within. She entered a state of meditation and started feeling truly fulfilled. Then she realized, whatever God had done was indeed the best for her. If the Lord had not done this, if my outer doors had not been closed, I would never have been able to go within. This became very clear to her. She began to thank the Lord deeply. Yet, since she was a devoted wife, her reverence toward her husband remained. After some years, the king's attachment to rich food and pleasures began to fade. His body became weak and frail. Then a thought arose in his mind, that he should renounce all this luxury and go to the forest to live a life of renunciation. When this feeling grew stronger, he first went to his second queen, the one he liked the most, for he had already stopped visiting the first queen long ago. When he approached the second queen, he said, I wish to leave everything and go to the forest. The queen replied, You may go to the forest if you wish, but why should I go? I am fine here. If your mind is inclined that way, you can go. Then he went to the third queen and expressed the same wish. She said, I am not ready for such a life now. You may go if you like. If you pass away, I will build a grand palace in your memory and arrange for your final journey with great honor and ceremony. Do not worry about that, but I will not go to the forest with you. The king became very restless. As he was lost in thought, it occurred to him, Let me go to the first queen, at least ask her once. After so many years, when he went to the first queen and saw her, he was astonished. She had become divine, radiant like a goddess. When the king came before her, she bowed at his feet and said, What is your command? The king said, I wish to go to the forest. Will you come with me? She replied, Of course I will come. I am your soul. If I do not go with you, who else will? What I mean to say is that a person forgets his own soul and keeps the outer doors open, turning toward the world. But the soul is always ready to welcome him whenever he turns inward. When the king entered the chamber of the first queen, he felt the presence of his own soul, as if he had come back home. Then he went to the forest with her, and there, in the remembrance of the Lord, he fixed his awareness on the divine. Gradually, he descended deep into his own soul and, in the state of meditation, left his body. So the outer tendencies will never remain with you. It is the inner soul, the one to whom your real connection belongs, that always waits for you. And whenever you turn inward, your soul is ever ready to be with you, just as the first queen was. There was a noble man. He was not very educated, but he had attained a deep understanding of God. He had only one son. One day, he said to his son, Whatever God does, He always does for the good. Make this truth the foundation of your life, that God can never do anything wrong with you. If you live your life according to His will, you will never be disappointed. The son had seen that his father truly lived his whole life in the presence of the Lord. He too learned everything from his father, that whatever God does, He does for the good. In due time, the father passed away. The son worked for a wealthy man, serving him with great devotion and sincerity. His duty was to take care of the rich man's horses. When the rich man became old, his most beloved horse was still quite young. Out of affection, he gifted that horse to this faithful servant. After some time, the servant also had to retire from his work, so he brought the horse home with great devotion. He also had a son of his own. He began to feel as if both his son and the horse were like his children. He took care of both with great love and tenderness. After a few years, both the horse and the son grew up. The horse was of such a fine breed that the prince of the region came personally, offering a great deal of money to buy it. But the man said, "I have raised this horse like my own son. I cannot sell it." He refused to sell it, and the prince went away disappointed. The villagers told him, "He was giving you so much money. You should have sold it." The man replied, "One does not sell his child." The villagers mocked him and said, "And what if the horse runs away one day?" The man calmly said, "Whatever God wills." After some time, the horse indeed grew older and stronger, and one night, it ran away from home. Even then, the man said to himself, "Whatever God does, He does for the good." Yet he sent his son to search for the horse. The son went out to look for it, but on the way, some bandits caught him. They beat him badly, and his leg was broken. Somehow, he managed to return home. When the father saw his son's condition, even then he said, "Whatever God does, He does for the good. God can never do wrong." The villagers came and mocked him again, saying, "Look, your horse ran away, and now your son's leg is broken. Do you still think everything God does is for the good?" But the man remained calm and said nothing. He lived in the awareness of his soul, always in witness consciousness. A few days later, an enemy attacked the kingdom. The king's soldiers came to the village to recruit all the young men for the war. Every able-bodied youth was taken, but when they reached this man's house and saw his son lying on the bed with a broken leg, they left him behind. Then the man thought, "Indeed, whatever God does, He does for the good." If his leg had not been broken, he too would have been taken to war. A few days later, he saw that the same horse had returned, bringing along 4 or 5 other horses of the same fine breed. The man was filled with joy. His son was at home, safe, and now they had more horses than before. He bowed in gratitude and said, "How merciful God is." Meanwhile, the king won the war and came to the village to meet his people. The villagers told the king about this man, how he had lived his life, how he had refused to sell the horse even to the prince, and how he had raised it like his own child. Hearing this, the king was deeply pleased. When he met the man, he saw in his eyes the reflection of the divine. The man was always in witness awareness, living within his own consciousness. He had closed his outer doors and opened the inner ones. The king was so impressed that he made him the head of the village. Now the man had honor, wealth, horses, and his son by his side. The message here is simple and profound. When you live with witness awareness and accept every will of God as your own, there will be no suffering in life. God may test you, but He will never disappoint you. So, to live your life by keeping your awareness absorbed in Simaran, or remembrance of the Lord, is the greatest way to be with God. When you reach this state, you will not be able to speak anything through your mouth. Your mouth will become silent, because deep within you there will be peace. You yourself will have closed all your outer doors. Inside, such great splendor will arise, and through that splendor your consciousness will begin to evolve. You will attain great health, and in society, you will be honored and respected. If you remain connected with God in this manner, whether through yogic practice, mantra discipline, or Kriya Yoga, whichever path suits your nature, then slowly a time will come when the divine supreme power of God will begin to awaken within you. You will not even realize how much divine power has entered your being, and when this divine power arises within, you will enter into the state of meditation. In the beginning, you practiced pratyahara, which means closing the outer doors. Then gradually, from dharana you will enter the state of dhyana, meditation, and from there into samadhi. Through pratyahara alone, just by closing the outer doors, you will reach the state of great samadhi and unite with the Supreme Being. You will become one with the entire universe. Then there will remain no desire to attain anything in life, for everything will already be attained: health, wealth, and the presence of God. Where did all this come from? Simply by keeping your awareness absorbed in Simaran or remembrance of the Lord and not speaking anything from your mouth. You just closed your outer doors and opened the inner ones. How simple Saint Kabir's verse is, and yet how it leads you to such a supreme state. How easy it is, just to turn from the outer to the inner. Outside, there are only difficulties; inside, there is abundance, divinity, and the presence of God. His power is there within you. Just by changing direction, by changing the path, you receive everything. Therefore, we must change the direction of our life. We must develop our soul and practice those methods which are truly suitable for us, whether through devotion, through love, or through spiritual discipline. Only we ourselves can know which path is right for us. Follow that path completely and sincerely, not for show, not to prove to anyone, because God is already seeing everything. He knows everything. Simply sitting with eyes closed is not enough. Closing the eyes while your thoughts wander outside is only deceiving the world. Your eyes must be closed, and your inner tendencies must be turned inward. The outer doors must be closed, and the inner door must be fully open. Then you will realize God. And when you realize Him, you will stand at the doorway, able to look both outward and inward. Then you will become one with the entire universe. Just like Lord Krishna, who was on the battlefield and yet remained united with the Supreme, we too must live in the world and yet remain united with our inner self. Keep your tendencies clear, your feelings pure, and offer your entire life to God. Let your life spread the fragrance of the divine throughout the universe. Let it bring peace to the world, and let it merge back into the source. This is why this verse is such a great and sacred one. सुमिरन सुरती लगाएकर, मुंह से काछो ना बोल, बाहर के पैट पैंड कर, अंदर के पैट खोल. Through this verse, I offer my humble salutations to Saint Kabir Ji and my heartfelt gratitude to this divine message.